Everyone goes to bed with the same fear. When will AI take over the world? When will Terminators knock on our doors? Hollywood has made us watch robot rebellions, laser weapons, and nuclear wars for years. But let me tell you a secret. The apocalypse will not come with a metal fist. The apocalypse will come silently, with a red line on a stock market screen. Right now, at this very second, the biggest gamble in human history is being played. Trillions of dollars, nuclear power plants, and the world's energy resources are on the table. And those playing this gamble might know that the cards in their hands are empty. There is a terrifying similarity between those who sold their houses for a tulip bulb in 1637 and those investing billions of dollars in a chatbot today. Could the thing that destroys us be not AI's intelligence, but its cost? Behind those colorful pixels on your screens, a time bomb is ticking that could bankrupt modern civilization. Today, we will not talk about the future. We will talk about the bankruptcy of the future. To understand the story, we first need to rewind time a bit, to 1637, to the Netherlands. At that time, a strange craze began in the Netherlands. Tulips. Yes, the flower bulbs we know. People believed that the price of tulip bulbs would increase forever. They started selling their houses and lands just to buy a single tulip bulb. A single tulip bulb was being sold for the price of a luxury house in Amsterdam. Everyone thought they would get rich. But one morning, suddenly, the buyers disappeared. Prices dropped to zero. Thousands of people lost everything in a day. The economy collapsed. Suicides began. This was called Tulip Mania. It was the clearest example of human psychology, greed, and herd mentality. Now, let's return to the present day. Today's tulip is artificial intelligence, and today's tulip merchants are the tech giants of Silicon Valley. Right now, everyone in the tech world is saying the same thing. AI will change everything. It's an invention even bigger than electricity. With this promise, trillions of dollars are being poured into this sector. Nvidia, Microsoft, OpenAI, Google, the value of these companies has reached unimaginable levels, trillions of dollars. Just Nvidia's market value is larger than the total economy of many countries in the world. But here, there is a very critical, very disturbing detail we need to find the truth about. There is a rule in the finance world. A company's value must be proportional to the money that company earns or will earn in the future. This is called the price-earnings ratio. Currently, the value of AI companies has been inflated so much that for these companies to deserve that money, they need to make record profits every year for the next 50, maybe 100 years. In other words, investors are buying a future that doesn't exist yet, and maybe never will. Just like the Dutch peasants who paid a fortune for an unbloomed tulip bulb in 1637. So what's the problem? AI really is a revolutionary technology, isn't it? Yes, it is. But remember the dot-com bubble of 2000? Back then, it was also said that the internet would create a revolution. And that was true. The internet changed the world. But before this revolution happened, those who invested billions of dollars in every company ending with .com lost everything when the bubble burst in 2000. The Nasdaq stock market lost 78% of its value. Companies went bankrupt, engineers were left unemployed, the economy went into a recession. Because the technology was real, but the expectation was fake. What we are experiencing today could be a much larger, much more terrifying version of the dot-com crisis. Because this time, the bet on the table is not just websites, it is the imitation of human intelligence. The biggest evidence strengthening the possibility of this bubble bursting is an illusion called circular revenue. Right now, in the AI sector, it's unclear who is funding whom. Chip manufacturer Nvidia invests in OpenAI. OpenAI takes that money and buys chips from Nvidia. Microsoft gives money to OpenAI, and OpenAI uses that money to rent Microsoft's cloud servers. So those massive amounts of money circulating are not actually coming from the real end user. That is, from you and me. Companies are spinning a virtual money they inflated among themselves. This is like a snake eating its own tail. And when the snake's food tail runs out, hunger will begin. In the real world, most companies haven't yet figured out how to turn AI into profit. ChatGPT writes great poems, yes. Midjourney creates great pictures. But do those cover the billions of dollars in electricity, water, and hardware costs spent to run these systems? The answer, for now, is a huge no. Companies like OpenAI are losing millions of dollars every day. They are standing only on the investors' hope that we will earn in the future. And there is an even darker, dark science side to the matter. Energy and physical limits. AI is not just a pile of virtual code. It is processors working in massive data centers consuming terrifying amounts of electricity and heating up. At the current growth rate, AI's energy needs will exceed the energy consumption of countries within a few years. Companies like Microsoft and Google are making deals with nuclear power plants just to feed this AI god, and are even planning to reactivate old nuclear reactors, like 3 Mile Island. Think about it. For you to talk to a chatbot, nuclear reactors need to run in the background. Is this sustainable, or are we throwing our own energy and resources into a black hole with no return? If the plans for a $500 billion supercomputer called the Stargate project become real, can the world's energy infrastructure withstand it? If this bubble bursts, the scenario could be much darker than the 2008 crisis or the dot-com crisis, because today the world economy rests on the backs of tech giants. Just 7 tech companies make up 1/3 of the value of the S&P 500, America's 500 largest companies. If Nvidia says AI isn't bringing the profit we expected and their stocks crash, this will not just topple the stock market, but your pension funds, banks, and global trade like dominoes. Unemployment, inflation, and social chaos. That's when the fear of will AI take our jobs will be replaced by the fear of will we be able to find bread to eat. There is also a technological disappointment dimension to this story. Right now, everyone is waiting for GPT-5, Human-Level Intelligence, AGI. Investments are made with this expectation. But what if AI development has hit a wall? Scientists are talking about a data shortage. Quality human data to train AI is running out on the internet. If you start training models with data produced by other models, the system undergoes a digital incest and becomes stupid. It collapses. If that expected superintelligence doesn't arrive in the coming years, if AI remains just a slightly better autocomplete tool, then that trillion-dollar bubble will burst with the loudest noise in history. In conclusion, we are at a crossroads right now. On one side, there is that utopian belief that technology will save us, solve diseases, and explore the universe. On the other side, there is a financial time bomb inflated with greed, built on a rotten foundation, draining our energy resources, and ready to explode at any moment. We, modern humans, just like the Dutch in 1637, look at the tulip bulb in our hands and say, "This will make me rich." But the garden may have already dried up. Perhaps the greatest irony is this. While we feared AI, we thought it would destroy us like a Terminator, that robots would take over the world. But perhaps our end will come not with a robot rebellion, but with our inability to pay the robots' bills. Our civilization will be shaken silently and deeply, not by a metal fist, but by an exploding stock market chart. Next time you ask ChatGPT a question or look at a picture created by AI, think about those massive, expensive, and fragile gears working in the background. And ask yourself this question: is this a revolution, or is it the most expensive hallucination in human history? Time will give the answer, but remember, bubbles always burst at the moment they look the most beautiful, the brightest, and the biggest. And right now, the view is very bright. If you want to continue seeking the truth at this dark intersection of economics, psychology, and technology, this channel is your home. In the next video, perhaps we will talk about what awaits us after that collapse. Until then, protect your mind, not your investments.